You saw the police seem not to bother?
Yeah, I mean, I can... this is their own money. How can you explain? This can only happen in Nigeria. That's one. Two, how do you explain the ambush by Ombase in Nasarawa, which consumed about 70 security men, police, SSS combined? And the last thing I read was that either the police or SSS were saying that they have forgiven whoever did it. Nobody was taken to court to be charged with murder and anything. These are police. So if police are not even interested in themselves, then you can imagine what is going on. Is it a new police again?
Could it be that maybe they don't want to exactly say what they're doing, so that people just lower your guard a little bit and then will come for you? Because how could they completely forget about this?
I can understand.
It would be strange.
You see, I can understand if they want to war. Is a war, the real war in Afghanistan or Iraq or Syria, whatever, then you have that number of casualty. Not you park people whose job it is to go and bring law and order. And they were ambushed in a small place. Okay? And you now turn around to say, it doesn't bother you. You have even forgiven those who did it. You didn't even investigate, find out, to establish what it is. Okay? So all of this can happen in Nigeria. At the same time, the same police are now interested in what is happening in rivers. You go and seal up, you get involved in the House of Assembly matters, go and seal up a government house, go and bring, there is something they did. What we saw on television, when a whole policeman was beating his chest, talking that he is observing law and order, they are not going to allow law and order to break down. But he did something very, very unusual. Anybody in uniform, one of the first things to respect is the flag of that nation. Whether it is Nigeria or Korea or Iceland, anywhere. The first victim of his physical action was bringing down the pole that carried Nigerian flag.
Is it Nigerian flag or the
Nigerian flag. Then the two PDP flags followed. Now nobody in uniform, in his right sense of mind, with the correct training, will
whether in uniform or in mufti. I think it was a mufti.
Well, he's mufti in a jacket, but he spoke to the media. He said who he was. The media said he is a plain clothes, whatever.
No, that's DCP Sam Okaula. So he's the Deputy Commissioner of Police. So you say bringing down the flag of Nigeria, even if it were being hoisted in a place that is illegal, is wrong?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nobody in uniform with the right training will do that. It's the secretion of Nigeria. That's what you salute. You now go out of anger because you are consumed by hatred, by something, whatever it is, imagine or real. You bring down the flag on the ground. You don't do that unless really you are not trained or your training is something else.
What do you think of this fact now that, the Senate President now says, look, he doesn't mind, or the Senate will back a conference of sorts to talk about ethnic nationalities, everyone coming together to talk?
Well, it's a populist move. If you want to be on the safe side, you say, yes, you believe in the national whatever. But the reality on the ground is that, how do you really do that? I'm not opposed to it. I don't want anybody to accuse me of opposing sovereign national conference. But the problem is, how do you do it? How do you even choose the delegates? Who is going to chair it? If we are all sovereign, from the biggest tribe to the smallest tribe, we are all
Isn't the first step to say, okay, we will do it. Now, let's work out how we will do it. Well,
let's see who is going to do it. But the trouble is, it is easier said than done.
But even he acknowledged that. I mean, he said that, you know, the letters of the 1999 Constitution give room for such an assembly. But the manner and the makeup is going to stretch the letters of the Constitution, you know, to its greatest limits, as it were. What the makeup is going to be and what will be discussed, and you know what might come out of it might stretch next. So he acknowledges that it's going to definitely be a very difficult task. But isn't this a major shift from where the Senate used to stand in terms of the National Assembly? Because maybe we should just take the Senate, because they used to talk about, you know, how they can decide on behalf of Nigerians what is good for them. After all, they represent the people, don't they?
Well, I think he's being a realist. And first of all, people put all their eggs in their basket. That's the National Assembly. And people felt betrayed about one thing or the other. Something you are expecting, it doesn't happen. So when the Senate took a position against national minimum wage, the other house did something what Labour was expecting them to do. Then the same Senate cannot be completely negative on everything. So if to chip in and square with other argument is to say, yes, I accept.
So you still say this is a populist move?
Oh, of course it is a populist move.
Not a realistic one. They've been talking about it everywhere.
They have, because, you know, we're also talking about a constitutional amendment. The Senate has invested a lot, at least in that particular area. You know, this is coming on the back of, you know, the constitutional amendment that has been done. Are you not amazed at, you know, what exactly is happening? Will you just wake up? I mean, you're coming from a holiday, or from recess, as they say.
You're well prepared, energized.
Exactly, energized, and this is what you come with. Don't you think that this is the result of careful deliberation?
Well, I am not sure of that careful deliberation. But,
or consultation, if you prefer.
But what if you observe now the two leaders of the two houses have been towing the center line. They don't want to be seen as extreme on this side or extreme on that side. And if there is a popular opinion in Nigeria about Sovereign National Conference, why don't you say you support it? Because supporting it really is, first of all, he's not going to try it because he belongs to a faction. He can only, now if of all this, after 53 years, we can still go back to our own little cocoon of ethnic chauvinism. I don't want to be recognized representing a Nigerian tribe or a Nigerian religion. I am myself. That's what I'm proud of. My ability, not because I come from a particular language group or a particular whatever. I can represent a region. All of them are representing constituencies, which are regional. So the day now we bring down our progress after 53 years has come to a level where we can only be identified with the ethnic group we come from. I think we are going back to maybe 1450.
All right. Okay, let's give us a quick one before you go. I mean, now that the House of Reps has engaged in the same thing they accused Rivers House of Assembly of, who should take over?
Well, you know, you see what you call defense mechanism. They are quick to point an accusing finger. And as our people say, when you point one finger, we have 5 fingers under normal circumstances. Some people have 6 anyway. But when you point one, all the others are pointing back at you. So the Rivers House of Assembly, all the other houses of assembly, even the local government councils, 774 of them, they fight. The idea of cultivating democracy is yet to mature. This idea of you have the right to say something, I have the right to say something, then we debate, then we argue on superior argument. No.
Does it matter that it was not, the fighting wasn't done in plenary, I mean in the chambers? Does that count for anything?
Well, I think the issue is that if those honorable and men and honorable ladies who are really combative, if we can identify them, we isolate them, because their behavior is unacceptable. Or somebody was carrying a whole chair, and that chair is not a simple chair.
Okay.
He was going to use it as a missile. Right. You can imagine.
All right, we'll have to let it go. Even though there are so many views today, we'll see what we can do with so many of them, but just keep them coming in. We'll read them. Don't worry. Alhaji Mohammed Othman, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.